Hi and welcome to Flinders University. My name's Jonathon Aucone and I'm a Prospective Student Advisor here. And today's presentation we're going to try and get through what you need to know when you're applying, how to navigate the SATAC application, some things regarding your preferences, and generally speaking, useful tips and information when you're approaching your applications for university lifestyles. Prerequisites will be there as things you absolutely must do before you apply for your course or subjects that you have to have completed. Assumed knowledge is things that we hope you have done, and we highly encourage that you do so, but aren't 100% necessary. Some courses may have some additional entry requirements as well. Things like portfolios, CVs, and audition tapes may be required for courses such as dance and drama. Things like visual arts or visual representation entertainment design may also require your portfolio. Medicine will require a UCAT, and teaching will require a teacher's capability statement. Now regarding medicine, there's two ways to get in here. There's the undergraduate option and there's your postgraduate option. The undergraduate option will require you to apply via SATAC as per normal means and will take into consideration both your Year 12 results and your UCAT score. 90% is from your Year 12 results and 10% is from your UCAT. Apart from that, just go as best as you can throughout Year 12 and hopefully we'll see you here. The postgrad, on the other hand, is a little bit more complicated. So if you are looking to get into medicine and you don't quite get there the first time around, that's okay. A lot of people end up getting into medicine when you go in through the second time. If you choose to take this route, there's two opportunities, I guess, that you can take into consideration. The first one is taking advantage of the Flinders reserved places. There are reserved places for 4 specific courses that we offer here at Flinders University. One of those being health sciences, the next one being paramedic science, there's medical science, and there's science biotechnology as well. So you've got 4 options there. Within those, you'll have reserved places and you'll be competing against other students that have completed those courses across the time that you've been here for. Outside of those, you've also got reserved places for just general Flinders students, so you'll flow on from your 4 specific courses into anyone that's completed a bachelor's degree within Flinders, and then from there, you'll compete against the rest of Australia as just a general postgraduate option as well. So you have 3 options or opportunities when you're applying through Flinders University to get into medicine. Past completing those courses, you will have to sit your GAMSAT. The GAMSAT is much like the UCAT in terms of the additional entry requirement. You'll then have to apply directly through Flinders University website, so keep in mind it's not through SATAC, it is through the university website for this one.
You may be eligible for an interview based on your GAMSAT score. Your overall rank will be based on your GAMSAT, interview score, and weighted GPA from the most recent bachelor's degree that you had completed. If it turns out that your GPA is lower than you were anticipating, you can complete a new bachelor's degree to generate a new GPA. We do have varying ranges of degrees available, so we encourage you to speak to our student advisors to find the course that suits your goal to give you the best results we can give you. In terms of teaching, there is that teacher's capability statement that you can do. It is a 400 to 600 word little paragraph that you have to write down. Realistically, it really is more of a personal reflection, I guess, on how you approach teaching and what you feel like teaching is and what your attitude to teaching is. It's not particularly difficult, but it needs to be quite succinct and tight because it is a very small amount of words allowed, so keep that in mind. Now that you know what pathway you're hoping to take and what kind of course you're looking at applying for, there's also different entries into university or different selection ranks that you can have a look at. So you have your guaranteed selection rank and your regular selection rank, or the competitive selection rank is how we like to call it, where you'll have a look at 2 scores. So for instance, the Bachelor of Business will have a competitive entry rank of 60 and a guaranteed entry rank of 70. This means that if you achieve a score of 60 or higher, you will have a competitive entry into business, whereas if you achieve a score of 70 or higher, you'll have a guaranteed entry into business. We also have the Uni Test. Now, Uni Test is unique to Flinders in the way that we're the only university that offers this entry pathway. This allows you to combine 60% of your ATAR with 40% of your Uni Test score, and that combines into a new selection rank for yourself, and whichever score is better between your ATAR and your Uni Test score will be the result that we use. So whichever was favourable for yourself. You don't have to tell us which one you'd like to use, we'll just use the best result for you. The same applies for the Research Project B as well. That is a 60 and 40 split, except the exception here is that in 2020, the Uni Test will allow you to use 100% of your Uni Test results instead of 60-40. Lastly, you have the STAT test. This is an additional test that you can do after you've completed Year 12, which will more or less give you another basis of admission. It's a 70-question multiple choice aptitude test, which will allow you to essentially create yourself a new selection rank.
Now, once you've gotten your results and you know exactly what you're looking at doing, you can open up SATAC and have a look at your preferences. Now, once you're there, you'll have 6 preferences to choose from, and we highly encourage all of our students to put in their preferences from obviously the most important, being number 1, to the least important, being number 6. And this will allow you to put in, cool, my most passionate, and then you can put up a whole bunch of backups for that passionate result. Now, how this works is that you can put in, let's say, law and legal studies.
And the ATAR for this is 90 to 95. And then from there, we can say my backup option for this is going to be law and society, our law pathway, which is 80 to 85, for example. So if you don't get into law and legal practices, you can always go into law and society, and then you can apply to transfer into law and legal practices. This way, there is still a way to get into your first preference by using a pathway via your second preference.
So once you've selected which preference you've got, and you've had a look at all of your preferences and you've labeled them in order, you have the option to reorder your preferences. There'll be a button underneath your 1 to 6, which says reorder, and then one at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that says save. Now, make sure that you reorder them whenever you wish, as long as you reorder them before the change of deadline. Now, what this does, it allows you to reorder any preferences that you want until that deadline date. So if you decide that you have a change of career pathway, or you've just totally changed your options altogether, that's completely fine, even after the SATAC application date closes. Ensure that you do press the save button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen to save your SATAC preferences, because if you don't save your preferences, they just won't change. And if you have decided that you are going to change your career pathway and you haven't hit that save button, you won't receive your offer. So make sure that you save it. It's very imperative to do so. Now, during your application process and you've selected your change of preferences, you'll go through your stages on the left-hand side of the screen. There will be an option to sit the STAT test. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the STAT test is that aptitude test that you can sit. So if you are eligible, this is the way that you can sit it. So if you would like to, you absolutely can. And if you choose not to, at this point in time, you can always continue without selecting yes, and then go back later and then choose to sit it afterwards. So don't freak out too much, you're not locked in.
At the very end of your application, you will need to pay your application fee for your application to be considered. Then, after this, you may see your offer status.
Now, this is where you'll have a look at any offers that you've received from any of the applications you've put in. So you might have put in an application at every single university in South Australia. That's totally fine. If you receive an offer from any of them, you'll find them in the offer status section of your SATAC application. Some key dates to keep in mind. In September will be the closing date for your SATAC application. On the 7th of January will be your change of preference deadlines. This is what I was mentioning earlier when I said that you can change that preference list from 1 to 6 at any point in time. So you can keep changing them up until that 7th of January timeline. As you can see, there's many ways into university and university life. So if you need any help, please contact us in any way you wish. Thank you for visiting Flinders University, and we look forward to welcoming you on campus soon.